Okay, seems like I'm rolling. Alright. Hi everybody, it's Connor here, and I have a very unfortunate update for Larry vs. Ghostface. I'll start off by saying that I admire anybody who has the strength and the courage to make big films like the one that we were going to do. For those of you who are maybe not much into film news and researching into movies, I want you guys to understand that even for bad movies, that there is a lot of very hard-working people behind the scenes that are working to make sure that this thing happens. Much like what we were trying to do with this movie here. Now, I know that I have been very excited about this movie and getting it made this summer, gathering people, but unfortunately today I am going to have to announce that Larry vs. Ghostface is indefinitely delayed. Now, before anybody says anything, there is a big difference between being canceled and a delay. Basically, what I am announcing here is that the movie has no known release date as of right now. So you have no idea when it's going to come out. I don't know when it's going to get made, but for right now, it's just kind of shelved, and it probably will not happen for a very long time. So with that out of the way, the question that you are probably asking is, what went wrong? I have come up with 3 big reasons as to why I think that this movie is not going to be made this year. And in a way, I hope that this video can sort of serve as a guide for anybody who is interested in making a big future film like this. The first reason I have come up with is funding. The movie has been funded completely by me, and given the scale of this film is much bigger, it was going to be next to impossible to keep the budget under $1.3 thousand. Many other necessities such as food, gas, traveling, and all these other little expenses would have definitely ballooned the budget way bigger than I can mentally handle. And because my actors are not being paid and the budget was kept intentionally small, I feel like that caused a lot of commitment issues for actors joining in on such a massively scaled project. The second reason I have come up with is casting and crew. Most of my cast members are very busy people, and given that this movie would demand a lot of their time, the risk of starting production and somebody not being able to make it to set on their days was really high. When it came to the problems of Eyes on You, most of those problems could either be resolved by pushing it to a weekend or the next week. And we also had some issues with our equipment, and our equipment was different, and those things were easily fixed. And we also had a smaller cast back then. And because we had such a small crew, it made things a lot easier to manage, and everybody had more time. So there wasn't a whole lot of worrying about whether somebody could make it to set, and we were able to get all of our scenes done throughout the whole summer. To put it simply, the risk was way too big with how big the cast was this time around. It wouldn't be fair to the people who were truly committed to the project, and it would be very shameful for the people who maybe join in and they don't realize that it's not something that they thought it was, or maybe it would take up a lot more time than they had expected, and they end up dropping out. So to avoid production hell, I think that dropping the movie completely would save people a lot of time. The last and most important reason for this movie being indefinitely delayed is mental health. On the inside, I really wanted this to happen. I really did. And I wanted the Eyes on You cast to reap the rewards once again, and for all of those new people joining in to feel what we felt when we completed this giant, massive project, and to reap all those rewards. But as of right now, the reality with me running operation on everything, I felt like that this was maybe a challenge that I was not ready yet to conquer. My good brother Caleb said that I put everything that I put my mind to, and unfortunately, this was something that cost me my own mental well-being. The last 4 months of preparing for this movie has completely destroyed my mental health with unbearable anxiety, stress, and fatigue, and that is something that I have to be completely honest about. Like I said in my introduction, making movies is really hard. It is really fucking hard. People get cranky, there's tons of problem solving, searching, planning, and just so much to it that it just becomes completely exhausting unless you have a pretty big team behind the scenes. And quite frankly, a lot of the actors that have joined the set have never been a part of a big project like this, and if I don't have the mental capacity to manage and keep track of everything, it would bring the whole set down, and I pretty much have to be there 100% of the days. I have to be there 100% of the days, and if I don't have the energy to take up that challenge, then it definitely would not go so well as we are shooting. So taking some time off to travel, see the world, make some short films instead, I think is something that I am very long overdue for. I know that many of you with eyes on you would agree with that. I appreciate all the love and support that I have received from you guys, and I know that this is not the end. For those of you who have volunteered, I hope you understand why I'm making this decision, and I am more than willing to bring you guys back for a future project. This will perhaps give me some time to go through the script again, shorten it down a bit, maybe even make some revisions, and I can make some supplemental short films that build up towards Larry vs. Ghostface. It would also allow me some more time to secure some more funding, and I'm thinking about maybe even pitching it somewhere. Obviously, having Ghostface in there, it might have some effect with the licensing stuff, but you know, we were planning on making a movie that was specifically for YouTube and showing it to the community. So it really truly was just something fun that we were wanting to do. It has been a great run, and right now I need to recover, explore the world, and just jump around with some smaller projects, some of which will be announced soon once this sad time passes over. I hope that this video helps those who may be considering making a big film like this to know what mistakes can be made, what can go wrong before a movie even starts shooting. However, don't let it demotivate you from making the movie that you want to do. Even if you don't have a film degree, like me, don't let anybody stand in your way and tell you that you can't do it, because if I can do it, then you can. I'd say the best thing that I have probably learned from this as of right now is to start small and get bigger as you go. I started with Ghostface Kills the Bros, and that was only a 40-minute film, and jumped right into a hour-and-a-half film. And while it was stressful shooting that film, we only had 10 people, but it does show that as you get bigger with the cast and you get more actors involved, if you're the one that's managing the project, it is going to be extremely stressful on you. And if it becomes so stressful that you're not having fun, or it's just for a fun project, always know when to stop, because it is very possible to get obsessed with wanting to work on a project and wanting to make it happen. You dream big, but sometimes you just have to know when to limit yourself when you're wanting to achieve something like that. Start small and go big. I appreciate all of you watching, and sending love to all of my cast. See you later.